Hey there, welcome to Ems and Friends. I'm a qualified therapist and everything in these videos is based upon my own personal or professional opinion and sourced from the public domain under the Fair Use and Fair Dealings guideline. Thank you for watching. Hey Bubble family, welcome back to the channel. I am sorry that it has been a minute since I last spoke to you guys. I want to thank you so much for all your patience in the fact that I haven't done a video until today. So it's been actually 2 weeks, I think, since I've actually last done a video, which is really unusual for me. However, I just want to sort of obviously explain. I did put something up in the community, but just in case other people didn't see it, I'm actually having some renovations done on my house. So it has been crazy. The building work, decorating, it's full on, and so it's just been absolutely impossible for me to do anything due to the fact that there's been so much banging. I did have some noise cancellation headphones when I work with clients, which is great, but obviously I can't do that when I'm doing a video, so it's really difficult to. I tried a couple of times to do a video and it just didn't work. All you could just hear was drilling and banging, and I was getting myself so stressed out because it was like, oh, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. So I just was like, why am I even bothering? And obviously the first week, because I had to move everything upstairs, because I'm actually now living upstairs, which you can see behind me. This is my spare room, which was in the middle of being decorated. As you can see, I've tried filling the holes in the walls. But of course, when this happened, so I can't be downstairs. So literally this room has become like a makeshift bed sit for me, where I've literally got a sofa in here, which I'm sitting on right now. And then my microwave, my slow cooker, which is my best friend. Sorry, but my new best friend is my slow cooker. And obviously, so it's been full on crazy. So the first week I was moving everything upstairs, trying to get everything organized, trying to work in amongst all this mess. I've had to juggle clients around because I've had to do some in the evening because it's just like the noise is just too much. So I thank you for your patience for waiting on a video. So obviously I've had quite a few emails from people asking me to do a video regarding the latest shenanigans of Meghan Markle. And obviously, as always, I give it the psychology perspective because that's how I like to do things, because it's not just about talking about Harry and Meghan, because there are plenty of videos out there that do that, but for me it's about giving something different to you guys and talking about like her narcissistic personality. And I think it's important to bring that perspective to try and get some level of understanding, if that's possible, on why people do what they do. Now at the moment I am in the process of rebranding, so obviously this is going on behind the scenes. So as some of you have seen, my new Bubble family logo has been created by one of my lovely subscribers, Fiona. She's actually a graphic designer and illustrator, so I will always be putting her in the link in the description box below, because it's important for me to give her credit, because I don't want anyone to think that I designed this, because I didn't. She came to me and she offered to do it, which was incredibly kind of her, and obviously I accepted, and she has created this beautiful logo, which I think creates exactly what I'm trying to achieve on this channel, which is diversity and inclusion. So for anyone that hasn't seen it, I'm going to put a picture up here to show you. And obviously there is also going to now be some merch that is going to be designed. Now, one of the things, and I appreciate that I'm waffling a little bit here, so I will put in the beginning where you can skip forward to the Meghan Markle stuff. So obviously people probably are now aware that I've now created a Patreon on Twitter. I think there is also a link here. Now, this is not necessity. This is not something you have to do to be part of my channel. I have had quite a lot of people that mention that they would like to contribute because they know what I do. Now, again, for anyone that is new to the channel, and when I do my rebranding, I will be putting an intro video up describing what I do. But for anyone who doesn't know, basically these videos that I do are to help anyone out there who doesn't have access to mental health support. They are for people that really want tips and tools on how to manage, how to look for signs, so that they might be in a toxic relationship, or there might be toxicity at work. You might be struggling with confidence. So as I go along, I'm going to be doing various videos. I will also be offering our phone calls to people who just want to reach out. But you can talk to me about anything. Does not have to be therapy related, because therapy is obviously a contract. So this is, if you want some advice, I'm happy to give you some advice. Or if you just want to talk to me about the channel, or if you have some ideas that you'd like to put my way, or you'd like to come on and chat on the channel, that hour phone call is for you. So if you want to be part of that, please get in contact with me. If you'd like to come on the channel to talk about your life and what's happened to you, or you have some great story or something that you think is inspirational or anything, and you feel that our viewers will be beneficial from that, then please get in touch again via email, where we can sort something out and you can come on the channel. So obviously, as you know, I do ask for donations, which you can pay through buying me a coffee, PayPal. Now the Patreon has gone up. And again, this is for people that want to contribute to what I'm doing. And to make that clear, every donation I get, everything, every penny goes back to you. So for example, I help people behind the scenes who are struggling financially to get therapy. I am someone that believes that mental health support should not be about money. So I want to utilize my credentials. And yes, for anyone that is querying this, I am 100% a qualified therapist. I trained, I did my qualifications, and I'm pretty sure I would not be on here publicly stating this if I was lying. There are people that I know that follow me on this channel that are my peers. I even had one of my peers come on this channel, Maria, and she was someone that trained with me. I've had my son on here, and my son has got autism, and he's pretty truthful. So if he thought I was lying, he'd be one of the first people to call me out on it. So for anyone that doubts, yes, I am 100% qualified as a person-centered therapist. So all these people that are contacting me, well, not all these people, people that are bullying and people that are saying that I'm lying and I'm scamming money out of people, no, I'm absolutely not. And anyone that I've worked with could testify to this. Obviously, it's very difficult to state that publicly because it's given away confidential names, and I would never do that. But people that watch my channel, if I was scamming money, if I was soliciting my clients' children, which is something else I've been called out on, I'm pretty sure at some point someone that's spoken to me is going to mention this, is going to come on Twitter or Instagram or even here and say she's a fake, she's a fraud, she's asking for money. So I'm pretty sure in the whole time I've been going that somebody somewhere would call me out on this, and they haven't, because it's not true. The only thing I ever ask when I work with somebody is if they can afford it to pay a donation back to the channel, which is what they do. And that is their choice, their amount. But I do work with people that have no money. And so this is why this channel is so crucial, because it enables me to use my credentials to help people, because there's therapy for people out there that have got money. There is so many therapists that people can go to who have got money and they can get the help. But I want to help the people that slip through the cracks. I want to help the people that have no money or on welfare or benefits, and they can't get on the waiting list, or the waiting list is too long and they need support now. Now, I appreciate I'm only one person and I can only do what I can, but in my mind, if I can help just one person, then that's one person that's hopefully on a better course in their life than somebody that hasn't been able to get support and help. And as I go on, and maybe the bigger and more successful I get, maybe other therapists will come on board and we can create this, I don't know, create a charity maybe of where therapists can actually help people for free. And this is open-ended therapy. This isn't just 6 sessions or 12 sessions and then it's okay, cheers, thanks, bye. You know, this is, as long as they need it, I'm going to give it. And it is my aim, if I'm truly honest, it is my aim to have this channel become so big that I'm able to, in a sense, use the money from the channel. And this is me being completely transparent and honest with you guys, to use the money from the channel to pay my bills, but then be able to then literally work with only people who struggle financially. So the people who have no money coming in, like I say, the people on welfare, the people on benefits, the people that slip through the cracks of a very flawed mental health system, you are the ones that I want to help. I'm not saying that there are not people out there that might benefit from speaking to me that have got money, and if they want to obviously speak to me, of course they can. I have my private clients, which are nothing to do with the channel, but I've always been passionate about helping the underdog, always held passionate, because I was in that place one time. You know, I was in that place where, and this is how I started my journey, I was in that place where I needed support and help, and I struggled financially because I was a single mum. I was raising two boys, and it was a very difficult time for me, and I was going through a very toxic relationship. My nan, who I was very, very close to, had passed away, and I wanted support. And this lovely lady, I reached out to this lady and she helped me. There were times when I couldn't afford to pay her, and she would just say, well, just pay me what you can. And it made me realize that there is kindness out there. There are people out there willing to help, and I want to be one of them. I want to be one of the people out there that support others who are struggling. Now, this doesn't make me a saint. It doesn't make me holier than thou or the most perfect person on the planet. But what it does make me is someone who wants to help others. And I've always wanted to do that. And now this is a platform where I can do it. And I hope that it's very sad to me that people are trying to damage this, because it doesn't really affect me in the sense of course, it affects me in the fact that it hurts, but it doesn't affect me in the sense of I still can have my private clients. I still work within, you know, being a therapist. But what it does is it hurts you guys, because it hurts the people that perhaps would want to come and talk to me but feel a bit scared, or like I've had a couple of people step away because they're actually scared of the bullying, not because they question me, but because they're scared of the bullying. They're scared of what's been happening. They've seen me being incredibly severely bullied and trolled on Twitter, and they've seen comments on YouTube, and so it's created them to feel a bit scared. And so they've backed off. And I can understand that. Mental health is a very fragile thing. And if someone feels wobbly or they feel uncertain, they're going to do that. They're going to protect themselves. So the people that are carrying this on are hurting the people that I could potentially help. And that is what concerns me. They're going to bully somebody someday that actually has got a very fragile mental health, and they could actually do something very serious to themselves. So this type of doxing and bullying is not okay, and it should never be justified. And for the people that collude and the people that get involved, you're just as bad. So for me, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing this channel, even if I drop down to 100 subscribers. As long as I know I can help somebody, then that's what I'm going to do. But it's just unfortunate, because it means that where my views have dropped considerably because people have stepped away from the channel because they've believed this particular person or other people, it's now affecting the money that gets brought in to help me help others. So for everyone who wants to donate, you can, and I absolutely appreciate, and I promise you every penny is going towards helping people. It goes towards the giveaways that I do. Like at Christmas, I want to do giveaways to help people maybe buy some Christmas presents. There might be people out there that are struggling to get Christmas food. They haven't got a lot of money, and I want to do the giveaways to help these people. So this channel is important to me. I hope it's important to you, and I want it to keep going. And I'm very grateful to the people that have donated so far, the people that keep supporting what I'm doing. I want to give a shout out to Trevor Colt. He is truly amazing, and he's been a great support to me. And unfortunately, he's also suffered with some online bullying as well. due to what's happening. And so I want to give him a shout out, because he is, you know, he's an awesome guy, and he's doing some really great work. So please always, you know, if you haven't already, go and check him out. Yes, he uses colourful language. It's not for everybody, but that doesn't take away from what he actually does, and the amount of work and support he gives to charities to help veterans and people struggling with mental health. So, and I'm hoping that he's going to also be coming back on the channel at some point. So please go ahead and give him some love and support. I also want to give a shout out to everyone, and you know who you are behind the scenes, that have been tirelessly supporting me, helping me through this. You are all amazing, and so thank you again to all of you. Right, waffling over, now we're getting to the nitty gritty, and I'm sorry that you've possibly listened to 15 minutes of me rambling on, but it was important for me to say this. So here we go. So Meghan Markle. So the first thing I want to talk about is she wrote this letter, and I'm not shocked. If I'm truly honest, I'm not shocked, because we've talked about before that Meghan Markle is a narcissist, and her ego has literally gone into overdrive now. So the fact that she felt the need to write this letter when this bill was already, I believe I saw an article in May 2020, so yeah, May this year, where Joe Biden had already submitted this plan, this bill, into correct me if I'm wrong, I guess the Congress, maybe. I'm not completely 100% clued up on the whys and wherefores of American politics. But he'd already, so it was part of I believe it was part of a 225 billion investment to provide 12 weeks of paid parental leave to families. So, because in his mind, it was basically that, you know, families shouldn't have to choose between working, getting a paycheck, to then looking after their loved ones, their family. So this was incredibly important. And so this bill was submitted. It wasn't put through. It wasn't completed, in a sense that it's not gone through, but it was submitted. And also what's interesting is Kirsten Gillibrand, I believe her name is, has been lobbying for this since 2013. And it was, I think it was called, just checking my notes here, the Family Act. So she's been lobbying for this since 2013. So all of a sudden you see that, you know, we've not only had the New York walk around, which, you know, a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, all this security is there for them. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that most of that security was there because there was already something going on. And I believe this was when our Prime Minister Boris Johnson was there. They were part of the UN. And so there was a lot of security surrounding New York anyway at that time, around that area. So they seemed to just feel that it was okay to again jump on a bandwagon, turn up, and really speak to quite low level people, but made it look as if they were very important, like it was a royal tour almost. And of course, you've got the usual sycophantic fans who have gone, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. But it's actually been trashed, because also what has been shown is that they were recording. So in true narcissism, you know, their egos have literally overtaken. And I'm sorry, but Harry is just as culpable. Harry was shown wearing microphones tucked in behind. And I believe they were actually kicked out of the UN for recording. So they had a cameraman walking around with them. And I'm guessing this part of it was possibly okayed. But what I'm guessing is that when they went into certain areas, the cameraman wasn't allowed. But that's when they took their microphones and they were hidden, and possibly explains why she was wearing these huge overcoats. So everything, you know, because if she wore something very tight, it would have shown. So I think that there's some real shady behavior going on between these two. But again, it comes down to this narcissistic personality where their ego has literally exploded. They really do think that they are untouchable. And why? Because they kind of have been. You know, we look at the fact that they're using their titles, and obviously I'm going to get to the letter and that in a minute, in the fact that, again, using titles to infiltrate politics. So, you know, because let's face it, no one would give these two the time of day if it wasn't for the royal family connection. Prince Harry is always going to be, in a sense, accepted because he's connected to the British royal family. But Meghan Markle was only associated because she married into this British royal family. Bearing in mind, this is a family that she sat down on public television to attack and lie and say that they were racist, and they bullied her, and she felt like she didn't want to be around anymore. And again, backing with no evidence whatsoever, apart from a few things that Oprah edited and cleverly put out to make it look as if the British press were terrible. I mean, yes, they had a couple of things said about them, which were not very nice. But unfortunately, when you're in the public eye, this is kind of par for the course. You know, it is what it is. So you have then her behaving in such a way that then the narcissism has just kind of exploded. And this is what is happening now. So they've gone on this tour. There's been a bit of backlash, and it's literally like she steps in, tries something, see what happens, sees what the feedback is, and then steps back, waits, then tries something else, does the same. It's almost like throwing it in there, seeing what happens, steps back, waits, you know, and everything is about jumping on a bandwagon. There's no consistency, there's no follow through. It's like, let's jump on that, see what happens, put it out there publicly, and which is exactly what she's done with the letter. I mean, you've got to ask yourself, what person decides to write to Congress and then puts it out publicly that she's done it? And the irony being the fact that this bill was already being put through by Joe Biden. So the bill was already put through. She jumped on this bandwagon again, which we all know that if it had passed, which it hasn't, because Joe Biden now has decided that he's going to stick with his Build Back Better, which is actually, and again, I'm going to read my notes here, it's $1.75 trillion. Can you get your head around that for a second? $1 trillion. Infrastructure plan to build back better. Now, don't get me wrong, anything that builds back better is going to be a good thing, but $1.75 trillion. I can't even, I wouldn't even know how to grasp that amount of money. But again, she jumps all over this, and she writes this letter using her titles. And then not only that, in this letter, outright lies, saying that she was brought up on, you know, $4.99 meals at Sizzlers, when we all know that her father won the lottery. Her father was taking her to steakhouses. It's actually on her TIG blog that she went to fancy steakhouses, and her father did this and her father did that. She went to very expensive schools. So she was not raised as if she's on the breadline, like a lot of families are. So again, this need to lie. And what astounds me is this fact that it can all be fact checked. But for some reason, even though people call her out on it, it doesn't gain enough traction to stop her. It's like she's on this roller coaster now, and it's like there's no stopping her. So she goes from then writing this letter to then goes one step further, and this Kristen Gillibrand gives her 2 personal numbers. So it's interesting to me that this Kristen has been lobbying for this since 2013. So it almost feels like Kristen has then decided in a way to use Meghan Markle as much as Meghan Markle was using her. They've both come together, and she's kind of perhaps thought, I know what I'll do. I'll get Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, to phone up these people to push this, to say, this is a great idea. You need to be doing this. And if she gets involved, then well, it's possibly going to go through. Now, as an American citizen, of course, she has every right to speak to whoever. You know, she's a parent. Well, allegedly, because again, no one's seen Lily yet. I've done a video on that, but we'll steer clear of that one for the minute. But yes, so she's been lobbying for this since 2013. So I think that she's got Meghan Markle. She's seen Meghan Markle do this letter. So she's like, oh, okay. So I think what we're going to do is we'll get her involved. So she gives out 2 personal, private numbers of these 2 senators, which is Susan Collins and Shelley Moore Capito. So she gives out these numbers, and one of them was driving in the car, and she literally calls them up and says, oh, hi, you know, this is Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. So using her title to phone up a senator. Now, I'm sorry, if she was ringing up and saying, this is Meghan Markle, fine. Meghan Markle, you know, she's a US citizen. She's entitled to do that. But what she's not entitled to do is to use her British title that was given to her as a gift by the Queen of a British country. The royal family, as a rule, and I know there's been the odd little exception, but at the end of the day, she's the Queen. So they remain impartial in politics. They are Switzerland to a degree. So the fact that you've got this person who literally 5 minutes ago was an actress, who's now deciding that she's that important that she can influence a senator, is just beyond astounding to me, beyond this megalomaniac narcissism within Meghan Markle. But it also shows this move into politics, which we all said that was possibly going to happen. Now, I'm of the opinion that she wanted to be the A-lister Hollywood actress. That's what I think. I think that when she married, she thought all doors were going to open to her. They were going to literally roll out that red carpet and they were going to open their arms, and she was going to get all the big roles. She was probably going to be a Bond girl. She was going to be whatever it was. She was going to be an A-list celebrity in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And that's what I think. However, what happened was Hollywood decided no. So they are very fickle. And I think what they don't like is someone that has not earned their place, has not worked their way up the ladder. So I think she was going to go there and she was going to get these roles, and it was going to literally be a fingers up to all the people that shut those doors on her. She's going to be like, I am who I am. I'm Duchess of Sussex. I'm married to the royal family. You have to open those doors to me. Well, no, they don't. And no, they didn't. And then COVID hit, which then even more impacted what her plan was, I believe. So now, because Hollywood has shut its doors, in her mind, it's about being the ultimate powerful person. She wants power. She's got money, so she now wants power. She's got fame, or rather she's infamous, but she wants power, and the way to get that is through politics. She can't get it through being an A-list Hollywood celebrity where she can bark her orders and do whatever she wants. So now she's realizing that actually just being a royal isn't enough. It's not enough to get those doors opened for her. So the sure way to get that possibly is to go through the doors of politics to get herself in. And that's what I think her plan is now. Would she go for being president of the United States? Absolutely. Will she get there? Probably not, because she can't handle any debate, not any live debate. But I also think this is why Harry has aligned himself with Google, because they're going to start wiping her. Anything that's on the internet, they're going to wipe. They want control. Not just her, select few people, I believe, want control of the internet. They want control of what they call hate speech, which is really inverted commas of anyone that's against me. It's not hate speech, but it's anyone that's against these people that are aligning together. And Meghan Markle is one of them. I think Harry is still a pawn. He thinks he's important, but he's not really. So they're literally going to go for people that speak out. And I think that is why Murky got her IP ban. I'll be really honest, I do. I think this is the start of things to come. This thing with what's his, I'm not going to say his name, but you know, the person on Twitter who's going after everybody, this account. I think that he's all part of this, and I think it is a way of shutting people down. So yeah, so I think that there is massively this kind of behind the scenes conspiracy going on between all of them. I think there is a plan to take down anyone that speaks out against her. I think she's going to run, or she's going to try to run. And she's definitely on her way, but I don't think she's going to be successful. I certainly don't think she's going to get to the top, because there are too many other people that know too much about her, and those skeletons are going to come out of the closet because they don't fight fair. So I think, you know, in my opinion, the royal family absolutely now need to be doing something. They should have done something way back. They should have done. She is a full-on megalomaniac narcissist, and she will not stop until someone stops her. She will keep going because she thinks she's untouchable. So in my opinion, the royal family need to now step in. They need to strip her of her title and him, because he is by proxy helping her. Whether or not he feels that he is being bullied by her or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. She's treading on very dangerous ground, and it now looks like England, like Britain is now stepping in, and we are colluding with them in infiltrating politics, because by staying silent is staying complicit. It's not enough to sit on the fence anymore. It really isn't. It's not enough for them to step back and say, oh, well, they're doing their own thing. No, they're not. They're not doing just their own thing now. They are using their titles to infiltrate politics, which they've already started to do. Nothing was done, and now it's still happening. So in my mind, the royal family absolutely 100% have to step in now and do something about these two, because they keep leaving. It's like letting children to run riot and having no consequences. If you don't install the consequences, they're going to keep doing things more and more and more and more. When he first started, they should have nipped this in the bud straight away, but they didn't. And now we're seeing the result of the fact that they are just being left to do what they want when they want. They are causing a lot of concern for people who, even the Americans are now speaking out. We've got American Congress now speaking out and saying their titles should be stripped. When is our government going to stop sitting on the fence? When are they going to actually start doing something about these two? And then also now the fact that we've got the royal family just sitting back and doing nothing. They need to do something. So that is my opinion. I think that, you know, the bill hasn't been passed. He hasn't done that. So it hasn't worked. But she still tried to jump on the bandwagon. She's still getting this kind of credit for doing something, even though she's openly lied, even though she's openly used her titles to do something in regards to politics, which is a big no-no. So she's going to keep doing this until someone actually puts a stop to this, because I'm pretty sure that once she's just plain old Meghan Markle, they won't be interested. It's the fact that she's got connections to the royal family that they are allowing this to happen, and it needs to stop. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I'm sorry that for the first bit I waffled on a little bit. And like I say, I do appreciate the fact that not every one of you wants to listen to the waffle. I am going to be back next week. I'm going to obviously try and do another video on my narcissism. I'm hoping to do the devalue and discard. So I'm going to be doing that. And I'm obviously hoping to have other people come on the channel. I'm going to have, I'm wrapping this up because my phone has just decided to drop charge and it's going to go off at any minute. So thank you again to everybody who has supported me and continues to support me. Just know that I absolutely appreciate you all. Don't forget, if you want to come across to Facebook and join the bubble community, you absolutely can. I will put all the links in the description box below. If you haven't supported Trevor and his fundraiser, please go across and do that. It's on Twitter, and I think he might have even put something up on his YouTube, not sure. But please, again, I will put the link in the description box below. And yeah, so keep going, keep fighting, guys, and keep showing support, and we will be here next week. So take care, everybody. Love you all. Have a great rest of the weekend. Love you. Bye. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to pop across to Instagram and Twitter and give me a follow there. As much as I appreciate your comments, please remember to keep them respectful, otherwise you do run the risk of being blocked, and that would be a shame. Thank you for watching.